We're getting some new information on a lawsuit against the dating website Match.com. Now, the online dating service announcing it will check all users from now on against a database of sex offenders. This after a woman claims she was raped by a sexual predator that she met on Match.com. Jennifer Brandt is a trial attorney. She joins us live along with Joel Mann, who is a criminal defense attorney. Joel, with a click of a mouse, this dating website could have, in advance, installed an automatic computer program that checks for sexual predators. They didn't do it. Does the law impose an affirmative duty on the website to do that?
I believe it does. I believe that Match.com sells themselves for a perfect match. Their motto is more dates, more relationships. And if they keep not filtering people, then it would be more sex offenders. But I believe they absolutely have a duty to check these people and make sure that they're not convicted sex offenders. In this particular case, this guy was a convicted sex offender. That's the most offensive thing. It was easy to be done.
And Jennifer, it was so easy that I took the suspect's name, I put it in the Google box. It took me 7 seconds to find out his criminal history as a sexual predator. Why didn't the plaintiff do it? I mean, it's terrible what happened to her, but doesn't she have a duty to check herself?
She absolutely does, and it was a mistake that she didn't do that. I mean, Match.com has a specific disclaimer on its site that they are not responsible for checking to know the background of any people using the site. They have millions of users, and the cost for them to install that program to check for everybody's background would be a cost that they'd have to pass on to the consumers, and they shouldn't have to do that, and they specifically say that they won't do that.
Yeah, I see comparative negligence on the part of the plaintiff here, but Joel, newspapers have never been held liable for crimes arising out of the personal ads in the classified section, so how is this any different?
Well, I think, first of all, times are changing. Second of all, Match.com specifically has people pay them money to match them together. It's how they sell themselves. Now, there's another peer-to-peer network. Either. Well, that's true, but there's another peer-to-peer network that actually has been shut down just like this, and that's LimeWire. Here, they use the same argument. LimeWire used the same argument that their members were not responsible, that they shouldn't be held responsible, and that's the same thing. LimeWire, just like Match.com, needs to do at least a bare minimum to do something. People that hire Match.com to do something is expecting them to at least deliver a safe environment to some degree. Now, they're not asking them to go above and beyond.
You know what, Jennifer? Here's a real problem. People use fictitious names all the time. This guy could have used a fictitious name, and the website would not have caught him.
That's right. I disagree with Joel's position because Match.com doesn't know really who's using their site. And it's a slippery slope. I mean, yes, this is a serious situation. This person was a sexual predator, and it's an unfortunate situation. But do they check for only criminal background? What about if anybody had a civil lawsuit? What about if someone misstates their appearance on their website?
Well, Jennifer, where there's a civil lawsuit, where there's a civil lawsuit, someone's health and safety isn't in jeopardy. This is much different.
Well, you don't know.
A convicted sex offender who's getting on this website and doing this.
It could be an issue of fraud or identity theft.
Yes.
Let me jump in here.
Joel, you're right. And Match.com in their contract only is more concerned with identity fraud.
What about me? What if I set up a friend or somebody, an acquaintance, with another individual and there's a sexual assault that ensues? Am I going to be held civilly liable for damages because I did that?
Absolutely not. And even if you went to a bar, and met somebody in a bar, you don't hold the bar responsible for that, for having people there that might have a criminal background.
No, because a bar environment is much different. The bar isn't holding up a sign saying, look, we're going to find you the perfect match, including sex offenders.
But what if it's a singles night, Joel? I mean, what if they specifically have a night for people to come in who are single with the idea of meeting each other? Then do they have criminal responsibility? I mean, I think you're taking it a bit far.
But the bar is not saying they're going to find you a perfect match. The bar is not saying they're going to find you a perfect match. What the bar is saying is come and meet people. If it's a singles night or a dating night, they would.
Yeah.
I think everybody needs to take.
I mean, there's a much different environment.
Let me jump in here because you guys are talking over to each other and nobody can understand what you're saying. There has been a suggestion, and we haven't been able to confirm it, that on the second date, she invites him over to her apartment, a guy that she really doesn't know. Is there comparative negligence on her part under the law given that scenario?
Absolutely. She took him into her home, and this was a stranger to her. This was someone that she did not know. So everyone has their own responsibility to ensure their personal safety, no matter whether Match.com screens for predators or not. You have to be careful of what you're doing and what actions you take.
We're gonna
you never know who you're with.
You're absolutely right. It does require a person to scrutinize their own security, but at the same time, it also requires, you know, Match.com not to just turn a blind eye to exactly what's going on.
Good debate, everybody.
I would never rely on
Joel
those
Mann,
assurances.
Jennifer Brandt, thank you both for being with us today.